Hello, welcome to Physical Geography Lab. My name is Ty Reineman. I will be your instructor. First order of business is please use my employee email, which is tyr@uidaho.edu. Don't use my student email, but yeah, I just won't really respond as fast on that email. So if you want a quick response, use my staff email. Okay, first thing is I'll be your instructor. I'm a master's student studying biogeography with Dr. Jeff Hickey and Dr. Grant Harley. My thesis topic is on tree rings and how they relate to drought and how drought impacts tree mortality caused by bark beetles. So I study in central Idaho and western Montana. So what is physical geography? My perspective is it is the study of natural phenomena and features of Earth. And so this can be pretty encompassing. So it's really all about the processes and patterns that our environment experiences on a day-to-day basis and how landforms affect plants and how plants affect landforms, how the atmosphere is created, um, and how the atmosphere affects Earth, all these different things that we will learn about this semester. So some materials that you will need are the lab manual. So that's the Geography 100 Physical Geography printout manual. This is found at the Vandal store. Then there's a textbook, and it's going to be online, and it's the Living Physical Geography textbook. You'll have to talk to Grant Harley about accessing that. If you aren't in his lecture class, then we will have to do a few different things, but we should get you access to that textbook. And then also a couple other materials are myself, the instructor, and your classmates. So feel free to work with your classmates on these labs. Don't copy each other, but you can definitely ask each other questions. And also use the internet, so Google, YouTube, Wikipedia, they're all great resources to find answers that you may have difficulty with. So labs. So there's going to be 12 labs. There's one extra lab that's extra credit that you can read the syllabus about. But yeah, that 13th lab is at the Arboretum in Moscow, Idaho. So if you are not in Moscow right now, if you are studying somewhere else, just contact me. Maybe we can work out something if you want extra credit. Yeah, and then there's gonna be a midterm and a final exam. And then you'll be submitting labs to BBLearn, and one of the methods is using an app called CamScanner. I use a app called Tiny Scanner on my iPhone, and you can easily take a photo of the lab and scan it in, and then just submit that PDF into BBLearn. Here's the schedule. I won't really go into it very detailed, but notice that some of the labs are not in order. Just know that for the midterm, you will want to revisit labs 1 through 6, and then for the final, it's going to be 8 through 12, or 7 through 12, sorry. It is not a cumulative final, so just recognize that. And I will go over that during finals as well, reminding you you don't have to revisit everything. So I will mostly be recording lectures as well as attending the Zoom meetings, but You can find all my lectures in the lecture recordings tab on BBLearn, and then I will also include um, some slides as well, so you can easily look at the information on the slides and use those if you need help. I will be posting most of the labs within a few weeks. Some of the recordings I've posted already, they're from last semester, and I might revisit them and change them slightly, but you can go ahead and start all the labs if you want. That'd be great if you're that ambitious. So we'll start lab 1. So Google Earth needs to be downloaded. You'll also need to navigate to find the lab files on BBLearn, and then you will also need a lab manual. So first, I'll kind of go over the Google Earth Pro. We had some issues last semester downloading it, but if you follow this link and hit download Google Earth on desktop, it's pretty simple. You just download it and then you can install it, follow the directions. Um, you want to use the Google Earth Pro on desktop version. You cannot open these files on the web browser. And if you have any issues with this, please email me and I will try to work through it. And then once you have Google Earth Pro, you will need to download 4 files from BBLearn. So these files are found on BBLearn under the tab Lab Files, and then for Lab 1, there's 4 files, and you need to download these .kmz files. So once you have these files downloaded, you simply find them and you can right-click them and select Open With, and there's an option to open with Google Earth Pro. So you don't even have to have Google Earth Pro on, like open at the time, although you can, but you can just open it with Google Earth Pro and it will pop up. And so it will pop up under the places to the left little tree. Make sure that the boxes are selected to see the place markers. If they aren't selected, they won't show up. So make sure that that isn't the problem. If you are not seeing certain layers or features that are required for the lab. So this first file is Liberty, Colorado, and we're going to be looking at topographic features. The lab goes over it. You'll go through A through G and then 1 through 4 and answer some questions. Next, we have the elevation layer. So this is a map of New Orleans and looking into the elevation of the levees and the city and seeing what is dry land below sea level, and then shallow water, and then deep water. So it's going to really investigate how New Orleans works, how the levees function, and then maybe some issues about flooding like Katrina and other hurricanes that have hit this area. Module 3 is broken for a lot of people. If you want to do it, you can. I will give extra credit points, but you can totally skip it and I won't mark you down. A lot of people have this same problem that I do, which X's out the features in the layers in Google Earth, so you cannot actually see it. And then lastly, we have some radar data talking about different weather and inches of rain and kind of looking into what meteorology is, which is a part of physical geography. So yeah, this is kind of the intro to this lab. Um, please come to my um, office hours if you need help. Um, and don't feel like you need to attend class. If you use these recordings, you can go at your own pace. You don't even have to be in Moscow to attend class, so it's a pretty flexible class. And if you have any issues, please don't hesitate to email me. So thank you.